tilted. And we're back here once again with another episode of the MSK show, and this is going to be episode 173. So I hope you guys had a great weekend, and I hope you guys have a great week that is ahead of you. I have to go do my taxes tomorrow and give the daddy IRS some of my money so they can, like, in a way, not bend me over and put a complete fist up my ass, which is the same thing that P. Diddy was doing to Jay-Z. You know, but I've been working on putting out more consistent content in a shorter time frame. I ended up getting to about 156 subscribers on my comic book channel. YouTube did notify me that my comic book channel has hit 500 hours of watch time so far. So literally just gotta, work on building up the subs to 500. Well, and then after that, getting to 1,000 watch hours. Because the goal for that channel was only to really get 100 subscribers anyway, because, that's all I really wanted out of it. Then it just grew over time if I just put out more content on it. I'm still working on what day do I finally want to launch that other third channel that I've been talking about for a while. Because I have everything written down and done for the intro video. Just haven't had a chance to just put it out because, as you guys know here, I'm very, very busy. We do podcasts and I clip everything out and upload the videos, but I'm just behind on that too. So your boy is very, very busy with putting out quality content consistently. You guys think it's quantity. It's not. It's quality, and it comes out in a consistent manner, and it's definitely in a quantic fashion. See? But you guys probably remember an MSK show that recently happened tonight that basically it was all Iron0xcide's fault, but it's
Hi, everybody.
We are not mentally tilted off the face of the earth, where our brains are firmly on and they're working. So
you can call this episode 173.5
53394.
Right.
Hey,
So
MSK,
you just never release the previous content. It'll be as elusive as like the Resident Evil 1.5. It'll become a thing.
When you count all the extra takes, MSK, aren't you really up to like episode 300 or 400 something?
I'm not gonna lie.
At least
there was one time I was doing a show with Laps on Tuesday, and my freaking internet took a dump on me. And then it was a show we already had put in an hour and 30 minutes in. I was so mad. I actually went and punched my wall. I'm not gonna lie. I actually was so angry. The show got to an hour and 30 minutes, and my internet took a literal dump on me. Fuck. But in this episode of the MSK show, in just a moment here, we're going to be going and talking about a follow-up story to our recent episode with Kathleen Kennedy. So I kind of had a feeling she wasn't really going to step down, because I've been hearing rumors about this shit for, well, literally since they've actually existed. So I've been here kind of since the beginning of this rumor. So I kind of took it with a grain of salt, even though it looked pretty legit, and it kind of looks like it's getting more legit with each passing year, right? So that's why the previous episode, when that video gets released in that episode, it's going to be kind of like going over like Kathleen Kennedy's tenure as Lucasfilm's president, than rather talking about like her leaving. Because let's be honest here, even if she did leave, damage has already kind of been done. Like the same thing, Star Wars is going to have to eventually do the same thing that Power Rangers is on currently right now, and just survive off comic book storylines for a very, very long time, until like whoever's running the goddamn business can put together a quality product that gets people going back to the movie theaters to pay for these movies. But we'll do intros really quickly, and then we'll just go to our topics. So we'll start with Gray, our resident mustard man, who's going to be taking over That Darn Kid's YouTube channel, since she's having a long vacation in Japan that she didn't invite me to. Why didn't she invite me over there, dude? Come on. I want to learn anime. Dr. Bayo Sasuke. No?
Dude,
no?
we don't want to get that channel banned. You're not allowed over there. It's a channel that has, some decent numbers on it currently.
She left me after I called her a snack, because she was looking like a fresh, tasty snack. She left me. Then she said I was harassing her, and then she moved to Japan. You can't make this up.
Harassment is strong.
You actually chased a girl to Japan?
I mean, she's only on vacation, but yes, technically, yes, he did. And
Wow.
I don't blame her or anything like that. If this man was coming after me as hard as he is going after her, I might be considering leaving the country as well. But you know the deal. We got to protect that channel, dude. You're not allowed over there. I'm sorry.
Gray, he might be going after you before too long. Remember, he's retired from women, so he might.
I'm
be coming
retired
after
from
you.
women.
That is
does
true.
not mean I'm going
He's a
after
retired
men.
man.
I'm quitting women for the time being. I'm going cold turkey. Essentially, like if you maybe you're like alcoholic or you smoke too much, you go cold turkey for a while. I don't relapse off of women. You know, I just going straight forward. I'm getting paid in my retirement checks from not having sex with women almost ever, if at all. But it's okay. I have the tools to cope with whatever life throws at me. I'm good.
You know, that sounds like an interesting solution. Pay you to not go near women. Fair enough. I'm assuming it's government subsidized. It's kind of a public service.
Only on Tuesdays. All right. Iron, how you doing?
All right, man.
Dreams you recently ruined at all that you want to kind of let the audience know
Yes,
about?
actually, there was one I was just on, and the flow was great. The opening was good. The host seemed comfortable and competent and wasn't making, weird jokes that just didn't really land. It was going great
Until
I decided to share some apparently copyrighted and not fair use material. I really thought it would be, so I do apologize. But hey, you know what? I hope you didn't delete the whole stream because everything before that was good. You could just splice it in after this one and throw it in the opening.
huh.
No.
Oh, it may or may not accidentally be gone. But moving on from that, Bob, how you doing, man?
Kind of retarded.
Doing pretty good. I can't complain. I was off last week. Needed to take a little bit of family time, but back this week and like Iron0xcid3 said, I was on a stream earlier as well. It was going pretty good, and then just out of the blue, it stopped. I don't know what happened, but whatever. Well, hopefully this stream will go a lot better than the last one I was on.
Yeah, that host guy was a fucking loser. His dick is small. He has no money, no riz, nothing going on in his life. But this guy,
just point out, you said that. I didn't say it. So just.
But you were thinking it in your mind. I was just saying what was already in your head, essentially, right? Oh my God. Good. I can read your guys' minds. Not very good, but But this guy right here, Top G, a Riz Master, a sex god. I did accidentally bookmark that Aurora clip where she's like bouncing on some things and shaking some ass. I've had sex with a lot of girls, so I usually
Aurora, you got a random clip from Colorado? Did you mean the Oscar nominated Honora? Is that what you meant? Oh, okay.
Okay, like back in my day, I did have girls sending me videos of all types of stuff, of them doing some rather interesting things to themselves for me to look at for as a product. So if I was going to try out said product, I could see what I'm getting into. You guys catch my drift? You feel me? You really like feeling me? Okay, so yeah, I had to clip that because Iron said that he wanted Selena to do those things. Did you not, sir?
No, I didn't because I don't have to.
Oh shit!
Bazing.
Oh, well, speaking of the Vegas meetup that's going to be out next month, I will be there for however long, probably not as long as I was there last year, given work constraints. Might only be out there for a day and come back at this point because, there's some bullshit going on with work that might confine me to just being out there for a day, but it's okay. That's the meetup's literally only once a year. Going out there and coming back is perfectly fine. Hi, Selena. How you doing? Oh, that was a joke. Don't be Hollywood, Selena. Don't be Hollywood. Okay. Don't be a freaking Gwyneth Paltrow. Oh my goodness. Only a day. Just yeah. It turns out the meetup coming up this year, that week falls on what's called the Easter week. What was it called? It's called Good Friday or some shit like that.
Yeah, Good Friday.
Yeah. Those are no request days for work. Those are because Easter is very
Good Fridays and no, really. I wouldn't have thought that. Well,
oh my,
I've actually, yeah. I guess I haven't been in like retail and service industry in a while, but you're right. No, Easter weekend is always popping. So yeah, I can see that.
Packed. Yeah. So the only way to get it is like if I can get one day, I would have to ask her. Like I'll ask, but she's gonna say no. But I'll try. If I can get Friday off, just that one, that's fine. But I doubt it, honestly. Plus, I heard that they're not going to be able to like have the venue for multiple days like last time. So it's only they have to do like little mini meetups in other places. So probably just go out there and meet up with people, have some sex with a girl before I leave, and then just go home. You know, is what it is.
Oh, so are you going to be there for the official meetup, or are you going after the fact?
I'll probably just be there for the official meetup, and then we'll just leave because it would just be like what 7 to 11. I'll leave at like so usually on Fridays I work 8 to 4. So if I leave at like 2 in the morning, get back at 4, I can still sleep for like 4 hours and just go to work. Honestly,
God damn.
I did it before. It's not that bad. I can just, as long as I get at least 2 hours of sleep, I'm good. I'm good to go. Honestly.
You say that now. Give it like you're what? You're almost 30, not quite.
I am 30. Are you making fun of me?
No, I actually. Well, I mean, no, I'm calling you immature, so I couldn't tell. Yeah, same here. Oh my god, man, thank you. Do you get sick of fucking like 20-year-olds pushing 30 and then 30-year-olds pushing, oh man, I'm starting to just feel like my whole life's getting away with me. I'm so old. Like, go fuck yourself, man.
Yeah, just the other day,
I would sell my fucking soul to just have those years back.
Yeah, just the other day, I was there at work. One of the nurses was complaining how she's got pain in her knees, might have to get surgery on it. And she's like, oh, I'm getting older and it's just not working like it used to. And I'm like, you're 26 years old. I mean,
no, baby girl, you're not old. You're just fat.
I'm like, come on. It's not your age. And in her case, she's not fat. It's just
really,
it's just, it's an actual problem she has, but she was complaining about her age. And I was like, no, it's not the age. It's something else. But
see basically, it's just, don't worry, that shit's gonna get way worse.
Yeah,
later.
exactly. And that's what I was saying. I was like, you think it's bad now at 26? Wait till you get into your 40s.
Just I can't. Yeah, I do something at work where I have a confined time constraint now on certain things.
Have you ever called out to work or like played sick or anything like that? I mean,
oh goodness gracious! Someone did say that.
Me and a friend were talking about this. Does nobody do this anymore? Was this like a 90s and early 2000s thing? Like, oh no,
well, with inflation, it's kind of hard to. With inflation, it's kind of hard to do that if you're hourly. Now, if you're salary, okay, go ahead and do it,
dude. And that's what's sad. It didn't used to be because I had. I had the typical job of a, somebody in their early 20s, the one that MSK has in his 30s. And I lived just fine way back then. Like I could do that and still be fine. Yep. It's like now I'm actually making more money now than I ever did in my life. Granted, I do have more responsibilities, but I'm living way more paycheck to paycheck than I did when I just had like,
that's because you have to take care of
like entry level service, job.
You have to take care of Selena and all the bills. And Selena costs a lot of money, apparently.
Not really, actually. I actually have to like kind of like poke her with a stick to get her to like, no, go on, buy it. It won't be there when you see it again. And she's no, we need the money.
Poke her with your stick. Out of context.
With a stick. It was a fucking metaphor. No, like I have to like really push her into just indulge, get the thing you want. You're never gonna see. You leave and go back a few weeks later, it's gone, and you'll never see it again. Just fucking buy it. You can tell I'm impulsive.
No, it's not that I don't want to call off. It's just like, man, because the pay period is every 2 weeks, and you factor in, if I take off 2 days off, that's gonna hurt. Take off 1 day off, that's gonna hurt. It's like even just taking 1 day off hurts. As you guys know, it's California out here. I'm never behind on any bills. All my bills are paid right. I pay my rent, so I'm good on that right now. But like, just oh god, it's one of those things where I don't mind it as long as I can just go there and just do the actual meetup for the hours that I'm there. I'm cool with it. And keep in mind, guys, I'm actually more of a night owl person than a day person. I would prefer staying up all night. After that, I'll just drink coffee in the morning and I'll be good. I work the next day probably like 9 to 5 or 8 to 4. Literally, if I get home and I get literally a couple hours of sleep, I'm fine.
Wait. You don't drink coffee. It'll stunt your growth.
What do you mean? I'm 5'9". Iron is the one where it stunted his growth. He's 5'6". What are you talking about?
I'm not 5'6", you fucking asshole. I'm 5'8".
You've done nothing but talk
Which
crap
is-
on coffee, man. I
which
don't
is
believe you
the-
I
drink.
love coffee. What are you talking about? I actually genuinely like coffee a lot. But goodness gracious. Yeah, it's not even just that. It's just, oh my God, Easter weekend. Easter literally is like the gateway opening period to everything else. It'll be spring break, then it's summer, and then it's all good. It's just outside of that. Just bent over Diddy's fucking whole fist up your ass, working you like a puppet, digging all your
Oh, so you
shit
got summer
out.
plans?
Summer plans. Oh, speaking of plans, before the meetup, I was talking to Selena, and didn't she tell you this?
I think so. If we're talking about the same thing, I think
Yeah.
so.
You've never been to Frankensons, right?
No, I didn't even hear of it. I didn't even know what it was.
Think of like Walmart, but essentially just everything nerd related for like trading cards, comic books, anything. Literally just all nerd related stuff is there.
That sounds great.
Now, caveat is if we go, which we most likely will, I'm going to be bringing a date, which is just James. Just kidding, everyone. Just kidding. No homo, obviously. So
He's not really kidding.
So Frankensons is 2 hours away from me because it's in Redlands, and it will be. So what?
I know
day,
where Redlands is.
Yeah. So what week would you want to go in March if you could?
This month.
Let me look at the schedule. I forgot the schedule of the actual place itself.
If we went this month, I would prefer to go after the last day of the month, because that leads into me. You know what? But here's the thing. That leads into me having a bonus on my check, so I can actually spend a little money. However, I need to use that money to have things for the meetup, which is just
true
shortly after. What I would prefer, how about we do it toward the end of April?
The end of April. So around. So what day? So like what week? Essentially the first week, second week, third week.
The last week of April would be.
Okay, so the week of the
20th
through the 26th or the 20. Okay, so yeah, the 20th.
Yeah, that'd be fine. Okay. That'd be fine.
So the days that they're closed: Tuesday, Monday, Thursday, Friday. So they're open on Wednesday. We could go on Wednesday, so you guys could just, if you want to stay out, you can. But we could just go Wednesday because
shit,
I get off work early on Wednesday anyway, so I'm good.
Okay, so if you want to go during the week, I'm glad you're telling this me now, because I planned it around my days off. So now I need to plan it around your days off. So let's go Wednesday, the 30th of April.
Okay, I'll just put that in. James, I'll fight you if you say that again. Why do you hate me? Oh, also, guys. So because last year the meetup was multiple days, like we talked about earlier in the show. It's only going to be essentially, they have the night there at the venue booked for one night. So yeah, they have little mini meetups going on. Now, keep in mind this. I'm actually a big celebrity.
That's what they usually do.
I will definitely be driving up there in James's truck in a Lamborghini as well. I'll buy a Lamborghini out there in Vegas. I'll rent one, because that's what a top G I am. And then I'll have my black shades on. I'll have my hot Asian wife next to me talking about Data Bayo Sasuke's or whatever the fuck she's going to be speaking in rap terms. And then I'm going to pull up in the meetup blasting rap music.
Okay.
You guys don't believe me, do you?
No.
Oh, fuck off.
You lost me as soon as you said wife.
From the Lamborghini part. Yeah, that one believable.
Right.
No, it's every holiday weekend is like that. Every holiday weekend, you actually feels like your asshole is getting thoroughly pounded out by 3 different Tyrones, honestly.
Sure, that's not just your holidays?
Huh. That's interesting. Well, speaking of Kathleen Kennedy, in a little bit here, but yeah, hopefully you guys all ended up
Kathleen Kennedy after that. Oh my god.
I thought it was a good transition.
All right, you got me with that one.
Hey, once in a while I have some bangers. But no, in all fairness, I am the hottest guy on the panel. We should do a poll. Hottest, richest guy on the panel. I usually always win, but no. All jokes aside, we'll be getting to our topic here in just a moment. But I did end up bookmarking that movie clip for science reasons because I love the white women. You know, white women do it best. White women first. Mexicans, Asians, blacks are like on like the bottom. Honestly, like Indians are better. Fucking Brazilian women look better, and anything not black to me always. Remember we did an ethnicity tier list. Back in the day, we did an ethnicity.
Oh, how could I
list.
forget?
Selena left. Selena was like, I know. I'm gonna go start walking Thor. She literally left the stream. Her camera's just turned off. She literally AFK'd on stream. Literally just went, I'm fucking out. All of us, when it got to black women, we put them in F tier. Never. Oh goodness gracious!
To say I did not participate in the rating system,
but he did agree with all of our opinions.
I did remain on the show. I didn't leave, but I did not participate, if that gets me anywhere.
I mean, it goes without saying, but we all denounce you, MSK. You know, we're here, but we're not comfortable with it.
See, Selena, we finally know James now was John. This is John. Good Lord. But no, man, Frankenstein's is a great place. I recommend any nerd go there at least once in their lifetime. It's it literally, like, damn, it's like a girl that you can continuously call up and just have access to the back door. It's kind of like a girl like that. Like let's say you're married, but you need like a sneaky link or a side piece on the side because the wife don't give up the back door.
Sneaky link.
That's what kids call it. That's what people are calling it nowadays. Like, you know, a side chick. You call it a sneaky link. Yeah, I heard that. I was like, what the fuck? It's just like a side chick. You call it a
Why are you talking to kids?
Who are you hanging around with that you're hearing the term sneaky link?
I'm watching too many Facebook reels of dudes interviewing girls, man. Oh my goodness. She's like, I had sex with my sneaky link and then went back home to my husband and he butt fucked me and the guy ate the cum out of her ass.
I think WZ has a point.
I hope he does. Where is it?
God. Goodness gracious. Speaking of someone's ass getting eaten out by Bob Iger for Star Wars failing, Kathleen Kennedy, everyone, probably is not in a good spot. Where's that Rey movie? Oh, wait, it doesn't exist. It actually already doesn't exist. I'm putting it out right now. They probably have not even worked on pre-production. They probably nothing's ever went into the production. It's not.
Well,
it doesn't
they say
exist.
that they're still working on the script or something like
They're
that.
not. No one's working on anything.
They came out
probably,
recently
dude.
saying that she just wants to make sure it's a good product and to take all the time that they needed.
I love how she says that, and she put out Solo. I'm like, oh, okay, woman. All right, let's start really taking it seriously now.
MSK, you make such smooth transitions. I can't tell. Are we in the topic right now?
Oh yeah, you're right. Because Bob only can be here for like another 50 minutes, so we got to go. All right, let's have a good old time. You got Gray's white, Iron's white. He's Indian, and I'm black. No.
Oh,
I forgot. Iron's like German or
Hispanic.
arguable.
I'm Hispanic, so
oh, thank God, dude. Woo! I dated one of your women before. Oh my God, the women are crazy. Actually, I dated two of them, but nevertheless, good Lord, why do they always spit in Kendrick Lamar verses whenever you make them angry? Why don't they talk English in our country? Like, God damn. They wonder why we kicked them out. Holy shit, dude.
So this is part of the topic.
We need MSK to hit 5K subs again after many years of, people don't know. People literally think you never had a channel that I did. I literally had a channel that big. I was famous for a little bit there. I had viewers. I had money. And now I have to hang out with clout chasing fucks like these people. Good Lord. God.
I just want to point out, MSK, you asked me to come on the show. I didn't ask. So
okay. All right. So Bob is the hot girl at school that I have to ask out to be worthy of his attention. Just point it out.
I'm not saying it's because I'm hot.
I mean, that's right.
You asked me too.
You're asking me on the show.
So MSK, I've heard many claims of this big channel, but I've never seen it. You got any proof?
Selena was on it. When I first met Selena and Iron, they saw it. Selena was on the show. See how she didn't speak a lot? She thought it was weird. I just thought it was too controversial to talk on the show originally. So goodness gracious.
No, that wasn't it at all. It was her first stream, like
God.
first or second. I think she'd only been invited on a couple other shows.
Oh my God.
That.
Do you remember her? Do you remember her humor when she first started talking? Oh my goodness. She would talk about how much sex her and Iron were having constantly.
That didn't happen.
We literally would go like, "Hi Selena, how are you doing?" "Oh yeah, me and Iron banged today." I was like, "Thank you, Selena, for the great intro to conversations."
Well, then she fit right in on this show, MSK, because you're always talking about it as well.
She's like, I told her one time, "Hey, I didn't have sex today." Well, she's like, "Well, I did, you fucking loser." I'm like, "The fuck did I do?"
Now she may have said that. The rest of it, I say is complete slander. I say
that last one sounds correct.
It's okay. It's okay. If you guys ever film it, just let me see. I want to see some strokes and some moans. You know, it's okay. It's all for the science reasons. You know,
He's really into filmmaking.
Just like Martin Scorsese, I need to preserve our art house of porn industry movies here. The proof is, if you can call it, yeah, the Nightwing podcast is all on Spotify. If anyone ever wants to go see it, it's there. All the episodes are uploaded, so you know they didn't take them down. I love how the only reason Selena was invited was because MSK did not think she was taken. Not true.
That is true. She didn't know she was married.
I can't tell. Actually, no, I was right. Every girl that's somewhat decently attractive is already taken. I've always said that. Girls like her, you just tell her.
No. You can find plenty of attractive women that are single, but most of them that are actually cool and, you know, quality personalities and everything else, that's going to be a little more challenging.
No, the Amaranth thing. People were like, "She's married. Why would she not be taken? You know how decent she looks decent looking. She's going to be taken."
Ain't married no more.
Oh, I mean, she may or may not be married. I'll be honest with her. If she's married, it's just some cuck weirdo who watches her get.
Do you believe any of that shit? Until I see a police report, I'm not believing shit.
Apparently, it was confirmed, but I don't know. I mean,
I'm sorry for the trouble that you and your, you know, what would you call that?
Did you not see the video she put out about
are going
people,
through?
Did you not see the video of the people that she showed?
No, because I really don't care that much. So no, I haven't. I just kind of scrolled past them like Amaranth's, you know, pistol whipped in a robbery and shoots a dude. I'm like, yeah, that's probably bullshit. And I just kept moving on with my day.
It was kind of Three Stooges-y. Like it just happened to show up on my X feed or whatever. It's like a 10-second clip. Just you see these three guys in single file like follow her into her house and then they just run out like Three Stooges style. It's interesting.
This one looks like it's going to be a lot more legit. But the problem here with her is she may or may not have lied about the husband thing. And then, come on, we haven't seen her physically because she said she was beaten, like to the point where, you know, there was some blood there. You could definitely see some damages there. You know,
yeah.
I don't want to say go on stream and show us, but I mean that would be definitive. That's proof right there. If you're
don't need to see that, I just want to see. I want to see the fucking police report and what it says.
Okay,
agree. There is for sure like confirmation that the police were called. There is log of it in the same town, but I don't know about the police report or anything like that.
If she was rolled up on by three fucking, you know, random strangers and she ended up blasting one of them, then okay. My personal thoughts on her and her other bullshit aside, good for you.
Indeed.
Good
and if that's the case, MSK, you should go do a surprise stop by.
Oh my goodness. You know how useless dogs are? Because, you know, in that situation, in most horror movies, dudes would do that and grape her. I'm glad she didn't go through that. But the dogs are just sitting there barking, not attacking them. That's how useless dogs are. The dogs literally watch them go in there.
It depends on the dog. I mean, those were not fur missiles.
My dogs.
God, man.
My dogs would show the criminal where we hide our jewelry and money and shit. So
yeah.
That would be hilarious.
They would. They'd be like, "Come on in."
All right, let's have
right under there.
Okay.
All right. Think of me not naked because you're not gay and I'm not either. I'm fucking straight. I have sex with a lot of women. All right. Open.
MSK in a burqa.
That's fucking. Are you weird? All right. I'm black and you are not. So I get to utilize the dimensions of the world into my hands. The fuck am I talking about? All right. I am just losing my mind here with you people. I can't every time the chat. It's literally this is the chat that I wanted back in the day where they would just roast me. And I was like, you know what? That's cool. You have to have a chat that would just call you retarded, say L's and spam you with that, call you a loser. It's like, man,
It's not just the chat saying that.
I know. Goodness gracious. All right. I blame the dogs. Everyone's like, well, dogs will fucking attack the burglars. No, they didn't. They just sat there and just did nothing. And now they're going to get fed for doing nothing, as she may or may not have been beaten by some black guys. There were, I guarantee you, who attacked her were black. I literally not taking no for an answer. Black people are crazy and they do these kind of things. No. Hey, lady, I have sex with a lot of women. Not true, but I know how to last. I got 5 strokes in me. Okay, Jesus, we're getting there. You know, get on topic. I love how a white woman is telling a black guy on his own show what to do. Hey, I guess slavery never really did end, did it? Ironic, you know?
Nah, it has nothing to do.
Didn't
with
seem very ironic.
Right.
All right. So speaking of topics, hey everyone, I am MSK, aka Master Swag King, coming at you guys today with another video. And if you guys are returning viewers or new viewers, then please consider subscribing to the channel if you have not already. Leave a like on this video if you enjoyed it and comment down below. Also, make sure you guys hit the notification bell. That way you guys can get notified on whenever I upload a brand new video or go live. And in today's video, we are going to be talking about Kathleen Kennedy not leaving Lucasfilm anytime soon. So there was a video that I released before this one, basically kind of talking about Kathleen Kennedy's overall tenure as the president of Lucasfilm, because around that time period, it was, you know, a lot of rumors and reports coming out that she was officially stepping down as the president of Lucasfilm. Now, the reason why I didn't really title the video that way is because I genuinely thought that it wasn't going to happen, because these kind of rumors kind of started from people that are called scoopers. If you guys don't know what that is, I'll explain it later on. But scoopers who apparently get insider news say these things, and then no one really holds them accountable for if their information is true or not. Then what happened was bigger trades like THR, Deadline, and fucking IndieWire and Variety start reporting, hey, Kathleen Kennedy really is going to leave. So there's more validity to the rumors now. But now Deadline came out with their own article getting her to actually talk about the situation. And apparently she's not leaving, actually. So
Sort of.
Like, this is the weird thing about it. Okay, guys, is even if she stays or doesn't stay, it doesn't really matter. Star Wars is kind of just like cooked, if we're being honest here. Because keep in mind, she herself, literally, in her own words, only hired women when more men wanted to actually work on Star Wars. Keep in mind, you actually literally should not admit that on camera, because that is actual discrimination. You actually shouldn't be doing it at all. But it's okay, because it's Disney. They treat women so well. Kathleen Kennedy loves women, but she treated what's her name?
Gina
The
Carano.
lady who drew Gina Carano was one of them. She treated her like shit. The lady who directed Wonder Woman, Patty Jenkins, treated her like shit. Apparently, Kathleen Kennedy's the force is female. Yeah, you really love women, don't you, you old crusty bitch?
Well, it's certain women.
Stinks.
Yeah,
Oh my
the
god.
thing is, she brought in female activists, not just women. You could find women that actually are passionate and about Star Wars, love Star Wars for what it was. I'm not even going to say is, because it's nothing anymore. It's completely fucking dead. You know my opinion on this, and I'm going to go off on it again because I do it every chance I can. There was
you hit the nail right on the head there, Iron, when you said she brought in activists. That's the whole point. Kathleen Kennedy has always been an activist first and a producer second. If you look at people, when all the news came out that she was supposedly going to be retiring, everybody was bringing out all of her producer credits and saying, look at all these great films that she brought out. But she wasn't the head of anything during that time. Once she became the head and her activism could shine through, that's when you started seeing what her actual quality of work was, because her whole point was to base everything off of her activism. And she brought in people that have like minds for that. That's why she gave Rian Johnson a blank check to do whatever he wanted with The Last Jedi, because
Still
he's
not
also an
producing movies
activist first.
later on. Keep in mind, what happened with Rian Johnson? She, like with him and many other people, they would announce all this stuff, series after series, movie after movie, trilogy after trilogy, solo movie after solo movie. And guess what happened, everyone? Most of that shit never even came out. Very few of them ever did come out, if we're being honest here. And the ones that did come out, let's be honest here, Boba Fett, trash. Obi-Wan, garbage. Wipe your ass with that. The sequel movies, come on. Let's be honest here. I know people like Force Awakens to some degree. I don't. Force Awakens is also bad and very, very forgettable and not a good movie either. Rogue One, also forgettable, boring as hell until the very end of the movie. It's only good. And it's only because you realize the schematics that Leia has to get in episode 4. I was like, Vader,
you're wrong,
Vader,
man.
Literally,
there is one win in the movies.
I'm just saying, right?
You guys have your fucking nostalgia blinders on, okay? I'm gonna be fucking honest with the Rogue One defenders right now. Rogue One. You're looking at it through that fucking lens of member berries. It was not a good movie. The pacing sucked. It was fucking boring, and it was dripping with all the same activism bullshit that all of her other movies are as well. The only thing they did was, oh my God, we have video game young Leia, video game fucking Grand Moff Tarkin, and that Vader scene. Oh yeah, that was great. Well, guess what? A fucking fan did a better Vader fight scene, the Vader versus Obi-Wan scene years ago that was even better than that. Okay? That movie fucking sucked. Everything they've put out has fucking sucked. I hate Star Wars now. I cannot.
It's completely
subjective. Up in
to
the
equate
era of Star
that
Wars.
movie to 3 scenes, I think, is a little disingenuous.
I just want to tackle onto one thing. I want to tackle the one thing. The reason why I don't think Rogue One. Okay, I'll just go from an actual movie making standpoint. Sure, it looks beautiful to look at, but the problem with it is Vader literally has power to force pull stuff to him. That's what their power is. Why didn't he just force pull those schematics to him? He can do that. He just let it go so Leia can get them to have the plans to stop the Death Star. What
plot needed him to do it. So
that plot armor is strong in that movie. Keep in mind, all the characters are boring. And keep in mind, it's only interesting in the last act when you figure out, oh, these are the characters that died in episode 4 to get Leia these schematics. They're not just I'm saying,
I would argue that you guys are looking at it through the hate boner lenses that you guys have for
That's what
at
happened.
this point, when I watched it, I was still wanting to still love, and I mean fucking love Star Wars. I didn't have a hate boner at that point. I was completely flaccid.
I
was very much out of it by this point. I was very not happy, and it was even like a work-related event that I fucking hated. Instead of giving us bonuses, for some reason they rented out a theater and we all got to see Rogue One. It wasn't great, but I actually still have great fond memories of this film. I get it; it's subjective. It is the only one of the films from them that I actually like. I now look at TLJ a different way. I absolutely hated it when I first saw it.
Pilled?
No, just from having to watch it so many times, it's like, okay, I get what he was going for. I don't think the execution was that great, but he was trying to do a Kurosawa type deal. So he was trying to do Rashomon. They also tried that with the Acolyte. Yeah. Both times it fails. It doesn't give you an accurate, depiction of an event from 3 different sides, from like what actually happened and then from the 2 characters' points of view. That's what he was going for. It seems like it's in the vein of the original Star Wars, where it was, doing that same thing where we're borrowing from a samurai film. But man, it is the most asinine way to do a trilogy, is to have 0 things mapped out. You don't tell Rian Johnson, like, okay, you're starting here, you've got to hit these points and we've got to end here. And instead you take out the big bad like halfway through the movie. It's a really weird way to make a trilogy. Like, man, it did not work on so many levels.
Well, the problem, they gave him literally a blank check. They just said, here, go do what you want to do. And,
the only thing and
it's like you said, there was no plan. J.J. Abrams supposedly had like an outline of kind of what was going to happen, but he also turned around and said, "Oh, but you can still do whatever you want to do.
That's why we're not going to pass it on." Someone like him, who it's that the example I always give for J.J. Abrams. He's the guy who will be like, man, I want to do a cake business. Next day, I want to do a pizza. That's who he is. He'll never have a substantial idea. He will stick to long term. Look at everything he's been a part of. Lost, that show Lost that crumbled in later seasons. The only movie he's ever did good, in my opinion, is Mission Impossible 3. That was pretty good. But, that's called luck. You get that. I get lucky every once in a while. That doesn't fucking count, And keep in mind, it's Tom Cruise and Philip Seymour Hoffman in that movie that pretty much made that movie for what it was. Yeah. This guy is like the movies that aren't the sequel trilogy. They're debatably bad. People can I don't feel like Rogue One. That's even worse. One out of how many movies we're going to talk about? Sequel trilogy, Solo.
I mean, there's 5. That's it.
Yeah. One out of 4 is pretty bad.
It's like what you said. The way I tell my friend, because again, I like Rogue One, but he's always trying to stay positive, saying, well, maybe the next one that comes out will be better. And the way I explain it to him is like, okay, let's just, just because he also liked Rogue One as well, but hated the sequel trilogy, hated Solo. So I tell him, you're batting 1 for 5, 1 out of 6 or 1 out of 5 here. I mean, that's not very good odds here.
It's actually terrible.
Well, and
also, yeah, go ahead, Greg.
I wonder what that Solo movie would have been, because that was Lord and now I'm forgetting his name, but the 2 dudes who did the Lego movie and all those other ones. I haven't seen a horrible movie from those guys yet. I really want to know what their take on Star Wars would have been, but instead, apparently it wasn't where Kathleen Kennedy wanted it, and she finally stepped in and cut them off halfway through. Then we got to see Ron Howard's rendition of Solo. I don't know, man. I just want to know what that would have been.
The fact that they don't understand the character anymore or what he means to people to just say, oh, let's just throw a gag in where his name's Solo because he's alone.
Well, and then you get to see the Kessel Run and all these other things where he gets the dice, all these things. Yeah. It could have been great. And it's just every one of them was a letdown.
If they made it kind of in the air of if they did it more like a Lethal Weapon movie and showed him and Lando and them fucking how their the Kessel Run, everything like that, and how their relationship became, how him and Chewie, if you go in the books, there's a lot there with him and Chewie and how they
not the way these people
not anymore.
They're probably having
none of that's canon.
These movies.
Yeah, they just oh no, well, we didn't have anything to draft on. We didn't want to have to pay anybody a few $1,000s in royalties. Oh, dude,
no. Before this, remember there was a Hollywood Reporter article that came out about toward the end of last year when all this stuff started coming out about them, where I think one of the insiders said that a common sentiment that they have as a problem right now is they have no characters that can carry on the legacy of Star Wars like Luke, Han, and Leia. No shit. You killed them all off. You killed them all off. Recast them. If the problem is that there's no...
The thing is, they fucking did. They had characters right there. They had Jason Solo, Jana Solo, Ben Solo, fucking... the Mara Jade, all of that that content was just right there for the taking. They had Rogue Squadron, the video games, comics, and books were right there, and they could have readapted them, mixed it up a little bit in a good way.
We've still got Chewie. We've got Wicket. He could come back.
Oh, Jesus Christ. There's the comic book series, The New Republic. They could just went off that. It's after Return of the Jedi. Perfect sequel right there.
The biggest problem, though, the biggest problem with the sequels is it's
they exist.
They had no blueprint to begin with, but their premise and what they decided to do was just completely wrong to begin with. If you're going to relaunch a franchise and you're telling the audience that you've got all the characters that we love from before coming back, there's a way to do this, and that blueprint. Just look at Cobra Kai. That is the blueprint for bringing back a franchise. And the way you do that is you start off with your legacy characters and you build off of those legacy characters. You introduce your new ones, but the legacy characters are still the main characters. If you look at Cobra Kai, they start off with Johnny and Daniel, and by the end of season 1, the new characters are getting just as much screen time as your legacy characters because they spent 10 episodes developing them. So by the end, you actually care about them. Episode 7 should have been a Luke, Leia, Han, and Chewie movie. That's what it should have been. and then
with
you
young
introduce
sidekicks that would
Yes.
eventually
Yes.
be
You
built up
introduce
by the
those-
third movie.
Yes. You introduce those new ones, you give them more screen time in episode 8, and by episode 9, they are the main characters, with your Luke Skywalker character being the Yoda type character.
Yes.
Who's just kind of the wise mentor at that point. I mean,
And
that's
when
how
it's
it's
That would have
done
been so much
right,
better.
when it's done right, the audience doesn't even notice it happened. They
Yeah.
won't even know what's taking place. It's like all of a sudden.
Mhm.
And that goes with everything from the writing, the marketing, everything that had to be done so surgically perfect. And it really wasn't that complicated.
No,
But they refused. They didn't want to do that. That's the problem. The problem is they hate. We let people take over Star Wars that fucking hate Star Wars.
yeah.
Yeah.
They turn around and say, well, we didn't want to have Luke Skywalker on screen because he was stealing the scenes that he was in and taking screen time away from Rey. No shit. He's Luke Skywalker.
Hey,
I mean, come on.
That's like
They
if you
set Rey up to fail and be a hated
Yeah.
character. Just
That's
like
like if
Rose
you
Tico,
made-
just like Poe Dameron, all of them. They set
gonna
them
say-
up to be hated.
That's like if you made a new Dragon Ball Z movie and you made Yamcha the main character, and then Goku came in and you're like, man, Goku stole the screen time from Yamcha. Like, no shit. It's like the actual main character of the fucking thing.
Yeah.
Oh, Lord Jesus. All right, let's go over what Deadline ended up putting out for people to eat up his slop. And I don't eat slop,
Okay.
I eat gourmet. But yes, what do you want to say, Greg?
No, you don't.
Bastard.
Gourmet slop. So okay, two things before you get into this article that you've wanted to talk about for like 20 minutes now. So Cameron
You saying I'm hot?
Pasha.
You not looking?
No, not at all. So he's this dude who happens to be in touch with a few different scoopers, and he is in touch with a couple people involved in the current Acolyte lawsuit. But he brought up a bunch of interesting points the other day on it was actually Zach's channel. But he happened to be on there, and he's talking about so the original producer for the Acolyte is actually suing Lucasfilm, and they're suing them for essentially lying and breach of contract. So a lot of these the trades that all reported that Kathleen Kennedy is out. It's weird because they're not usually the ones who are publishing this.
They're not.
Now she's out or whatever, these rumors. Usually they have to back it up with something. And they were all saying that they had an insider telling them this. Well, he thinks that he got to the bottom of that. And it's a really interesting thing that I'm not hearing a bunch of people talk about.
Which is?
So in this lawsuit, they're alleging that Kathleen Kennedy, basically her move was to get up at those Star Wars conferences, the Star Wars announcements, and just announce a show. They're claiming that she did it with the Rey movie, that there was no backing from Disney, there was no budget or anything like that. She just announced that it's a thing, and then it became a thing. And apparently that's what she did for the Acolyte as well. So this producer says, like, when she announced that, there was no funding for any of this stuff. Just like you're mentioning with the whole activist thing, she seemed to really like the direction that this was going, and she heard a pitch for it and is like, yes, we are doing this, without getting like the approval to go ahead and do that, without getting anything else. So she was kind of catching the studio off guard. So what they're alleging is that these trade publication things were kind of a little bit of turnabout, some, fair play, if you will. She keeps announcing things without actually letting the studio get behind it or anything. Now they're announcing that she's departing without, her say. So when you hear a couple of the rebuttals that she's not, it's coming from like CNN. It's not coming from these trades. It's interesting. Yeah, Deadline is the first one to publish that.
I just want to point also to just go over three things you mentioned. So what I think comes up with a lot of these reports, I'm gonna be honest here, I think she's the one that leaks it to these people that she's thinking about retiring. I think she's the one that does it because it generates her getting talked about. The other thing was that I remember that fucking hell, the thing you brought up earlier, where about her announcing stuff that the studio doesn't even know what's going on. I've heard that before, that she just kind of announces stuff to hype people up, and then she doesn't even know if she gets the backing from Disney to even fund it. That I did hear before too. And what was the other thing you mentioned about conflicting reports coming out of the trades? Because I think
there were just like 3 trades announcing that she was retiring, where it took like 2 days, and then CNN came out with the one saying like, actually they're saying that she didn't, which they're not usually the ones to scoop Hollywood stories or anything like that. It didn't come out in any of these trades.
CNN would do
which
it
seemed
because CNN is definitely fucking. Well, it's CNN. They will definitely love getting on their knees for fucking Disney's cock. That's just what they do, honestly.
It just seemed like it might have kind of pulled the rug out from under her a little bit, taking away some of her, momentum, if you will. But they're not saying that she's still going to stay as the head of Lucasfilm. It does seem like she is still stepping back. So this seems like it is a little bit of, I don't know, what do you want to call that? Like PR? Stay like, no, I'm not going. I'm just stepping back.
Before we go over this, I'll ask you guys this. Do you guys think she shaves downstairs or does she like to keep it long? All right, so let's go over this. Kathleen Kennedy speaks on her Lucasfilm plans. She is not soon
it's
retiring.
It's a rainforest.
Good Lord. And the films that will keep her in Star Wars orbit for years to come. Hey, bitch, what about that Rey movie you keep talking about? I'm being honest with you, that shit is probably not even in pre-production yet. They're probably still
it wasn't a Rey movie. It was originally a Rey trilogy, and there was supposed to be a Taika Waititi trilogy. There was supposed to be a D&D, the dudes from Game of Thrones trilogy.
Yeah.
And there's another
Kevin
one
Feige
out
movie.
there.
Remember Kevin Feige produced movie? The guy that directed X-Men Dark Phoenix, he's supposed to get Sean fucking Levy, is that his name? Or I think he directed that. He's supposed to get a movie. Now apparently Ryan Gosling's going to be in a trilogy. They just announced shit. This should be called Lucas Announcements instead of actually like a film studio at this point. Exclusive. Oh, yes, daddy. I thought I'd seen it all in trade journalism, but the piranha-like frenzy on Kathleen Kennedy and the successor speculation that followed Matt Bellion's Puck report that Disney was putting her out to pasture is a new one on me. That is fair. It was this media news publication, Puck, that put out that initial tweet around 10:30 last week. Same time around that Luka Doncic and fucking Anthony Davis trade. It's random. The biggest reports come out at like 10 o'clock at night. Fucking crazy. Bellany, for years, has been beating on Kennedy like she owes him money. And this week, he reported Kennedy was retiring. Well, it must have been very serious if enough people started running with it. He must have had some level of credibility to point people like, this guy telling the truth here? I recall he essentially did the same thing more than a year ago, and yet here she still is, producing the Mandalorian movie. Yeah, no one's looking. Who's really looking forward to that movie? If that movie fails at the box office, Star Wars is actually confirmed dead. If it performs the same way that Brave New World just did, you might as well just write the franchise off. Might as well, because what's the point of producing a Rey movie then? If Mandalorian can't get people in theaters, then a Rey movie sure isn't. And prepping the Sean Levy directed Star Wars film that Ryan Gosling is circling, as well as numerous other film and streaming projects with A-list participants. Oh, sure. Let's really read what those are. Still, the trades followed with gusto, dishing speculative reporting on who might succeed Kennedy. The takeaway was chaos and that Kennedy was being pushed. The reality is different and far more orderly. Keep in mind, guys, who do you think gave them these talking points? She did. They're not going to obviously ask her hard-hitting, conflicting questions because they need that sweet, sweet little Disney access we know they always need. According to insiders, Kennedy has been working on a succession plan for a couple of years, eyeing candidates from within process with Bob Iger and Alan Bergman that puts someone like Dave Filoni, who knows the universe inside out, in a strong position. I admire Filoni's hustle and ability to turn over hard ground, but his penchant for defining industry people like Kennedy is in disparaging ways. So they want to find a new Kevin Feige for Lucasfilm. Based off this paragraph. But then again, guys, you know how long it took DC to find a Kevin Feige for them? It was wild, actually. You think
they still haven't?
You know,
they found James Gunn, who's going to just make James Gunn movies.
He has a plan of some sort.
And I'm not defending Kevin Feige because he's shit the bed and he's sold out like a son of a bitch. But dude, but I see what you mean. They want to find somebody who's passionate about the project to make the films better and more focused on Star Wars. How can they do that if she's even involved at all?
Yeah, I agree. Well, I just don't understand that. I didn't appreciate it when Deadline founder Nikki Finke, what are these people's names, did it here, and it feels like the appetite for, I'm not even pronouncing that word, is nowhere near as high right now, given how this business is still trying to regain footing after the global pandemic. Oh my good geez, you people are still talking about this. Holy
MSK.
fucking Christ.
You've
Yes,
got an
sir.
appetite for Schadenfreude. Do you want to try and give it a try? Do you want to read that word?
The year-long labor strikes and most recently the devastating wildfires that ravaged Southern California. What does this have to do with her running Star Wars? You fucking weirdos! Hey, look at all this deflection. What does any of that have to do with her still leaving? Who wrote this?
Tell you if you read that word.
Eat my asshole. Good Lord. All right. Kennedy would seem an unlikely target for good times or bad. 13 years into her run steering Lucasfilm, she has done much with the challenge of trying to broaden George Lucas's Star Wars vision after Disney bought it from him for $4 billion in cash and stock in 2012. So a lot of people don't get this about their deal. Yes, he got $4 billion, not just in cash. I'm pretty sure it was $2 billion in cash and half of it was in stock. He didn't get just $4 billion straight dollars in cash, did he? I could be wrong, but most of that's also in stock within Disney. So the reason why George Lucas came out and wanted Bob Iger to be on that board, remember that we had those board meetings like earlier last year? He has a vetted interest in Disney doing well because all of that money that he has half tied into that deal is in Disney stock. So if Disney fails, well, he fails. It's a challenge Amazon now will try with James Bond after purchasing creative control from 007 gatekeepers for $1 billion beyond the $8 billion they paid for MGM. Kennedy arguably is the most successful female producer executive in Hollywood history. Blah, yeah. We went over this all in the last video. She essentially, I mean, look at it this way. This is the best way I'll point it out without even having to read this.
She took notes, made phone calls, and brought
Yep.
coffee on some of the greatest movie sets of movies ever made. That's it.
All right, man.
Yeah, and she
I
got
don't want to. I don't want to defend her, but I got to. So
But let me
Spielberg
finish,
himself
then you
said
can.
that she's the best. Okay.
All I'm saying is, and it shows in every decision she makes now, that she resents all of these men that she worked for, Lucas, Spielberg, all of them, because her main goal is to destroy the properties that they created. If she can get, she could get her hands on Jaws, who knows what the fuck she would turn that into. But look at Indiana Jones. She's completely destroyed, and she's proud of it. Star Wars destroyed, proud of it. She has
hear
so
ya.
much resentment.
I'm not saying
there.
that anything that she's currently the head of Lucasfilm has been good, except for, as half the panel agrees, Rogue One was pretty decent. But aside from that, I don't think you're going to have any argument that anything was great. But that being said, so Spielberg called her the best producer ever, and the producer isn't just somebody that brings you coffee. Like, that's a production assistant. She, like, really, it is getting the financing, making sure that everybody is like coordinated, everything is paid for, everything works so that the actual artist can do their art. Like, that's all it's supposed to be. And she's great at that. Apparently, that doesn't transfer into being the head of a studio.
I will give you that. What part of that gives her any ability in the creative sense?
It doesn't, and that is one problem. And part of that is she trusted that, you know, these directors would have their vision and they could bring the art to it. And that's where you get the, you know, juxtaposition between J.J. Abrams, where he left all these breadcrumbs, and then where Rian Johnson decided to pick it up and leave it.
He kind of left a burning
do you
building.
remember the interview with
Steven?
There's an interview with Steven Spielberg where he flat out is making fun of her. It went viral during, I think, the Last Jedi fiasco, where he's saying, you know, while they're in there, she's taking notes and making, you know, doing everything that she needs to do, and she just kind of butted into the creatives and it's like, what if you do this and this? And they all just laughed her away because what are you doing?
Also, I want to just tackle on to a point here. The reason why I didn't want to read this is because we went over this a lot in the last video. But so a lot of these people in Hollywood want to give her all the credit for all these legendary projects, even though it's debatable if she had any actual input on them.
Okay, it's not debatable, you asshole. So the other part that Spielberg said was she is the greatest producer that he's worked with. So you're right. He did have that moment where he basically is like, why the fuck are you getting creative here? That's not your job. But she's great at getting the funding and making sure that everything is running smoothly. So she is good at that. And
On
we
the-
did get
That-
really good Indiana Joneses based off of that until she was in charge of Lucas, and then
Yeah,
we got this thing.
Right.
And that's the
Right.
pro- and you hit it
They
right
should
on
have
the-
kept her in her
Yeah.
lane.
You hit it right on the nail right on the head, Gray, because she's good at that stuff. And like I said earlier,
And
the problem is once she became the head, that's where her activism kicked in, and that's where that became more important than being a movie producer. And I think that that's been the issue here. I'm
Yeah,
with you,
I don't
Gray.
disagree.
I'm not going to deny what she's done. I mean, you can't take those films away from her. Her name is on there for a reason. But
And Lucas
but
chose her
I'm
as
looking at what
his
she's done
successor
since
for a
she's been
reason too.
ahead.
I
Yeah.
just want to also point this out is that Hollywood does this. Okay, so she's to be given credit for all of those. Why don't they bash her in the opposite sense of like, okay, you had all that success here, but now as a president, all of that's your fault then? Because if all that's her success, then all of the other things now in Lucasfilm are her fault the same way, right? She takes 100% credit for a lot of these, but apparently in Hollywood, that doesn't translate to the same way as she's now the president of
Right.
Lucasfilm. Not,
But
it doesn't
they're
translate
still
the same.
trying to
It's
say
not the
that
same.
everything. They're still trying to gaslight us to say that everything that she's done within Lucasfilm has been a success, and that everybody loves it except for a small vocal minority.
of incels.
They are they're still trying to push that shit.
That's
All right.
definitely wrong. But the other thing is, she does have the highest grossing movie ever, which is The Force Awakens. And that's not based off of her or what she put in front of it. Everyone was dying for that new trilogy, and they wanted to
Mhm.
give it a chance with that first
Yeah,
one.
she
But
did
it
that by
is
luck
like
then. That's by
1
luck.
billion here and
By
like
luck.
2 billion worldwide. It's like 3 billion. It's crazy.
But that had
Look,
nothing to do with her.
I
People
went
were
to that
waiting for
movie
Star Wars
with
movies.
fucking. I felt like I was fucking like on acid and ecstasy at the same time going into that thing. I was so fucking yoked. I was so excited. And yeah,
And then you
Look,
let me
look,
yeah,
just
everybody.
What I was
go
going to say
ahead,
is,
Bob.
here's what I was going to say is the thing with The Force Awakens. I was like you, Iron. I was so excited to see that film. And look, I think for the general audience, the Force Awakens is well received. And whether we can agree that it's a good movie or not, it was well received. People
You
were
agree.
excited about The Last Jedi because The Force Awakens was well received. The Last Jedi killed everything, and literally The Last Jedi and The Rise of Skywalker makes The Force Awakens a worse film, and it brings its flaws out even more because the other two films are so bad. You could like when I saw The Force Awakens, I thought it was a flawed film, but I'll admit I enjoyed it. I have not watched it since The Last Jedi came out.
You're saying it has no
It
rewatchability?
brought out the flaws that were already there and made them even worse because now it's a worse film because it didn't carry anything over into the sequel. And then the next film did even worse.
Here's what
Yep.
I'll say.
See,
I just think it's not a good movie. I'm just shit
uh,
talking.
Did I say I walked into The Last Jedi all excited? No, Force Awakens. If I
Right.
Yeah, but there's
just to be
context
just
and
to
No, you
be
said
nuance
Force
clear.
there.
Awakens.
But yeah, okay. I have not seen that movie since the first time I saw it in theater.
Me neither, because it's not
Now,
that good.
After I saw it,
you should do
I
yourself a
I
favor.
came out
Go
feeling a
feature.
little. I was confused. I was like, well, this was just kind of a redo, and there was no Han Luke. Everything was just. I felt really distraught, but I was okay. As a Star Wars fan, I was like, you know what? This must be really hard. I have a completely different opinion now than I did then. It must be hard to try to revamp a franchise after so many decades. We'll see. They're gonna turn it around. They got the money. They got the talent. They got the writers. And I didn't fault the new actors either. I just didn't think they gave them enough stuff to work with. I just want to tackle on to your point. You know how you said you were excited for The Force Awakens? A lot of people, when they bring it up, not you, when they bring it up, there's complete layers of context there. The reason why that movie did as well as it did is because the last Star Wars film that came out was in like 2006. There was actual anticipation and hype for it. She got that number purely not because of her,
That was the actual fans that wanted to go and see the movie. That's not her. That's actual people that just were gonna go. They were gonna go regardless if the movie existed or not. They were going to go. If any Star Wars fan didn't want to go, they're trolling you. That is, oh God, Fat Kathleen Kennedy's back.
Check it in, make it living gay.
Oh no. Okay, let's go. Deadline. We've read all of these speculative reports that you are out. That there's a frenzy for the next person who's going to take over Lucasfilm. What is the truth? Kathleen Kennedy. The truth is, and I want to just say loud and clear, I am not retiring. Well, you should, you fucking skink ass bitch. I will never retire from movies. I will die making movies. This is the thing. This is the first thing that's important to say. I am not retiring. What's happening at Lucasfilm is I have been talking for quite some time with both Bob and Alan about what eventual succession might look like. We have an amazing bench of people here. We have a basketball team, and we have every intention of making an announcement for months or a year down the road. We are lock in step as to that's going to be, and I am continuing. I am producing the Mandalorian movie right now, and I'm also producing Sean Levy's movie, which is after that. What about that Ray movie? But no mention of that, right? So I'm continuing to stay at Lucasfilm and looking very thoughtfully with Bob and Alan as to who's stepping in. So that's all underway, and we have every right to make that announcement when we want to make it. Like, no fucking shit, you stupid bitch. What the fuck kind of whatever. I don't care. Jesus Christ. When women talk, I literally want to hang myself, man. But Bob has to go at this part of the video.
Real quick, because I know you're going to finish the article, but just let me give my quick final thoughts on this. I never expected that she was going to go anywhere. I thought this was just kind of being thrown out there. Now, it does look like there's some legitimacy to it. But I think when it's all said and done, just my own personal opinion, I think she is going to stick around at least through the Mandalorian movie. I think she's hoping that will be a success so she can turn around and leave as soon as that comes out and say that she left on a high note. That's just kind of what I'm expecting. We'll see if that happens, but thanks for having me on, you guys, and we'll see you guys next week.
Yeah.
You guys.
Hey, Bob. Hey, man, it was great being with you, man.
Nice talking to you, too. You take care.
Thanks for defending Rogue One.
Hey, I liked it.
Oh, God, man.
We'll see y'all later.
You Simpson need Jesus. My God.
Rogue One and Force Awakens.
Hey, MSK, I remember that statement that you were making a little while ago. Do you have any interviews with Kathleen Kennedy that you could put on? I would like to hear her voice for a little while.
I would not like to hear her voice at all. It sounds like chalk actually going down on a board. But, I like to perpetuate my narratives here, and I love having sex with my wife. So, deadline. That you are looking within seems to give credence to what we've heard, that an exec like Chief Creative Officer Dave Filoni is in a good position as he works on a Star Wars to write and direct. Jesus Christ, people can write for shit. Kennedy, I can't say who it is because there's just an internal process that goes on inside a large corporation and a publicly held company as to how we go about making deals, finalizing decisions, and making announcements. You make announcements whether or not people have noticed them anyway. You just do that constantly. There's nothing unusual about that, and we're in that process. Deadline. This flurry of press coverage, it sounds like chaos. What's the reality? Chaos. There has never been any chaos because we know exactly what the plan is. The irony of that about the sequel trilogy, right? And we've been talking about it, as I said, nonstop for the last couple of years, because for obvious reasons, I'm not going to be here forever. George asked me 13 years ago to step in, and now I'm looking at it at who's going to replace me. And as I said, we have a bunch of people internally to handle the business, the creative side. The job has grown also since I stepped in. There was no streaming. There weren't a lot of things that we're involved in right now going on, so it has growth. How far down the road do you expect before a change gets made and then you go off and produce these two big Star Wars things? We'll probably make an announcement in some months or a year out, and I have every intention of sticking around to help that person be successful. I'm already producing the Mandalorian movie, and Sean Levy is after that.
Right there, everything in that first answer and her second response says that she's making it clear that she will be single-handedly choosing the successor. She will decide who is going to take over. It will be somebody that she decides on, and she's going to groom them into being exactly what she wants it to be, so it can carry on her legacy, not anything else. So regardless, like my stance is, even if they fucking fired her and sent her out Game of Thrones styles with the bells and the shame and brought in somebody fucking perfect, it wouldn't fix anything for me personally. I despise Star Wars now. I can't even watch the original trilogy. I see anything and I recoil. I am disgusted by the sight of a fucking lightsaber at this point. But now we know it's just going to be more of the same. It doesn't matter, and she's letting us know it doesn't matter. She leaves. It's going to be the same fucking thing.
You know what's the crazy part is that she says she's not retiring, but then also is like, we're looking for another person to do my job. This is why women logic makes no sense.
She's choosing someone to take over her job, and then she will guide them in the right direction.
So she's like not retiring.
Mentor, really?
Yeah, so she's Jiraiya to a Naruto. Oh, God. Deadline. I recall these same retirement predictions were rendered a while ago, and you re-upped, and here you are. What do you make of this fixation on your job status? Kennedy, I truly don't know. And any discussion previously about me retiring or quitting or any of those things, that's complete rumor mill, because through all of these reports, I have just continued doing my job and continuing my contract. Nothing unusual. It has all just been manufactured.
Bitch, you know exactly why.
Why are you here doing this interview then?
I truly don't know. Oh, fuck off. You know exactly. They made a whole South Park episode based on it. You know. Everyone knows. God, get the fuck out of here with that. At least be honest.
People want to sit here and lie to me and say women know what the hell they're doing. Like, get the fuck out.
Oh my God.
Deadline. The connotation is that you're being pushed aside in need of being replaced, though that's not what I've heard. Kennedy, it is absolutely not the case. It could not be further from the truth, and everything that we do inside of Lucasfilm is lockstep and in communication with Disney. Yeah, oh, fucking hell, whatever, man. Yeah, so Disney knows all the random shit you announce that they don't finance. Crazy, right? We all know what's going on. The communication has been completely collaborative, as you would expect. This is a big piece of business for them, and they want to empower me to help them make that decision and that choice. Oh, yeah, they're clearly doing that. Yeah, they're clearly empowering you to ruin Star Wars, or have already ruined it. Jesus, good God. Deadline.
It's totally dead.
Jesus Christ, Deadline, what are you saying here? I'm placing some blame on Marvel's Kevin Feige. What did he do? And worked on an Easter. I'm not trying to defend Kevin Feige. What the fuck did he do in Star Wars? Okay. I'm placing some blame on Marvel's Kevin Feige.
He made better movies than she did, but only by a little.
Oh, good God. I'm placing some blame on Marvel's Kevin Feige because he had that magnificent streak of superhero hits and set an impossibly high bar. Okay, I don't disagrry with that to a certain degree, okay? But now he's starting to take shrapnel. How daunting is it to run a company based on beloved and iconic IP? She's always taken shrapnel. Where the fuck analogy is that? The reason he didn't initially is because the MCU wasn't doing bad.
Because they weren't making shit at the time. He's taking shrapnel now because he decided to go with the all new, all different approach. And now it's shit.
Running it down in this film production.
They started making shit movies ever since Endgame. That's what happens, folks.
Yeah, and keep in mind, even when
why do they not like? I'm taking shrapnel because I'm destroying IPs. People are.
Kevin Feige, not to defend him, but there were some bad MC movies in Phase 1 and 2. They definitely criticized him, but they were not as bad as the good. The overlap of good to bad was way different compared to now.
They were bad for normal reasons, just like bad pacing, junky story, this, that. They weren't bad for the reasons that Thor, Love and Thunder were bad, that Doctor Strange Mom were bad, and etc.
Jeez.
Really good points. Hey, MSK, do you know what shrapnel means?
So what has been the most challenging thing about running Lucasfilm when fans of the original
Wait.
trilogy
I want the
measure
answer to
everything
that too.
against
Do
it?
you know too? Do you know what
Yes.
shrapnel is?
So I'll get what. Hold on. Wait. What the fuck did I just read? Hold on.
Or you Google? Don't Google it.
No. What has been the most challenging thing about running Lucasfilm when fans of the original trilogy measure everything against it and don't see the business need of broadening the franchise when Disney paid too much? Oh my goodness. Oh my God. Jesus Christ. They've been. What the fuck did we just read? That might be the dumbest thing I've. Yes, good movies came out and people want that standard consistently and just blame the fans. Yeah, it's your fault they make shit movies now. It's all your fault because you like the originals. Yeah, hey, that's also the reason why the prequels weren't liked because they're not good movies either. And Star Wars fans called out George Lucas on that too. Hey, they make better shit. And he was like, oh, I can't make better shit. I sell to Disney because I'm a fat fuck and I'm a useless fucking idiot. Yeah, the original movies are just held into that regard. Same with the Lord of the Rings movies. The Hobbit movies weren't well received either. Oh my God. It's what Amazon MGM will now go through as it expands. Okay, Jesus Christ. These are such stupid things. Oh my God. If Amazon makes bad James Bond movies, then people will be mad at them. This is just literally not that hard of a concept to understand. In a franchise or a film series, if you start producing more bad shit, people that like it will hate it. That's just like the law of the universe, essentially. Kennedy, it is something I think about all the time. No, you don't. It's fascinating to think about how you sustain a brand, especially Star Wars. Some would say, I don't know why the fuck you're still the president, which is just about to celebrate its 50th anniversary. And so to analyze and understand what was inspiring George when he created Star Wars, you actually liked what he created? You don't like what he created because you try to change it. That's why. When he was still looking at Saturday matinees and Buck Rogers and Flash Gordon, and those are things of the past and politically what he was reflecting in his stories. Actually, he said it had nothing to do with politics. He said the reason why the first movie is the way it is because it's like a boy leaving home and becoming a man kind of thing. It had nothing to do with politics, really. People like
it's really a timeless story.
Yeah. People like her project politics into everything because that's how they see the world. They can't see it through maybe the person just did it because they just fucking had a simpler story to tell.
Yeah, the original Star Wars, it's not a complicated tale. It's not anything profound. Like it's based on something that has happened throughout human history. If you're looking at the struggles between the Empire and the Rebellion, it's like, okay, you can apply that to current day. You can apply that to 200 years in the past. You can apply that to the fucking Bible. It's all the same shit. It was very simple.
Yep. Because Star Wars has always had a kind of world building and it reflects a certain amount of our society. Okay. The world, needless to say, is changing by the second, and consequently, the audience has changed dramatically. Just give me the gun. Give me the rope, guys. I don't I can make it through it. What the fuck did you? That's just word salad. I'm not even gonna waste brain cells even trying to like EFAP that what this is why
the whole thing it's just justifying inserting current day politics into the story.
That's all that is. Yep.
That's all
literally
it is.
This is the reason why women are such low IQ morons is read that and then apply that to the real world. Holy fucking shit. Jesus Christ, man. How they consume things. We're seeing this reflected in the health of the movie business and what it really means for streaming and what are all these other platforms that may be on the horizon. You're trying to look forward, and at the same time, you're trying to create stories that feel familiar. No, you're not. If Boba Fett feels familiar to his original character, really? Obi-Wan felt familiar.
I remember Boba Fett. I remember the Rancor. All of a sudden, they're making Boba Fett ride the Rancor. I don't know, man. It's vaguely familiar. So if I can like steel man what she's trying to say, part of what it is to be like the studio head or to greenlight movies is you're trying to predict in advance like what is going to be popular. When you see like a lot of these like modern day politics and stuff, it is what was kind of popular like 2 years before, and that's kind of when the movie started getting into production and everything started getting solidified. It sucks, man. What can I say? They are all Hollywood is chasing trends. Like the second that you get one type of whatever movie that actually is successful, it's going to be like 10 of them right down the pipe, which sucks. And I think, you know, Marvel did this Disney did this heavily.
Yes.
I don't know that everything is coming from her and there wasn't like more of a top-down push, kind of like the whole Disney Plus thing. But still, she's the one who is seen in charge of Lucasfilm. So she's going to get that every bit of criticism for it. They're bad decisions.
So you're moving into the future, but you're maintaining a sense of familiarity. I think that's the hardest balance. Lady, there's no familiarity with your sequel trilogy of Star Wars movies to anything before. Nothing. Then when you have a brand that's this expansive, you're also, and this is something we work very hard at, you try to find different entry points for different generations because that's what Star Wars has always been. I know she's saying this the way that we think. She's saying this in such a shittier broadened point, but I understand what she's saying about this, but this is not the way I think she's saying it. But the thing is, you tried that with the sequel trilogy and it failed. George Lucas did it.
I was going to say the other thing that you could like try and white knight on that is, yeah, The Force Awakens felt like it was retread. It felt like it's really along those same lines. But what can I say, man? I don't want to defend the choices that are made here. Like a lot of them suck. There's like 3 properties that they have put out, including the Disney Plus shows that I actually like. Other than that, nothing. But
I just want to point out,
I'm just saying, Rogue One and Andor are pretty awesome, man.
Oh my God. Okay, Andor I didn't even watch because I've checked out by that point. I've heard it's good, and I don't.
It's
I just
the one
don't care.
good thing that they did. If you like the 80s movies like Goonies, Flight of the Navigator, Space Camp, any of that stuff, it feels like Skeleton Crew is really in that vein. It's not going to be for everybody, but if you want that nostalgia kick, it does it.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I see what you're saying with like her having to like kind of, you know, check the zeitgeist and see like what's in the now and how to make these movies up. But that's not really what she was doing. And she even admitted to that early on. Her goal was to have a massive hand and input into the creative aspect of all of these films. And she did. And that's why they couldn't, you know, they couldn't keep directors and everything just kept getting flip-flopped. And I mean, she wanted to put her fingerprint on this, and man, did she.
She might have had more with Force Awakens, but I think she had kind of just the trust in the artist, and that's why we got like TLJ with you know, Rian Johnson just doing whatever the fuck he wanted, including like killing Snoke. Like, man, there's so many things where if you're making a trilogy, it doesn't make sense to do it that way. So I don't know. And then supposedly they got halfway through Solo before she saw what they were doing and decided this is the wrong direction. It's off the rails. So I have no clue, man. All I know is I don't like the product that they're putting out.
I just want to point out that what she said right here applies actually just not even in what she's going to say, because George Lucas, from what I know, created the prequels, as he says, they were for kids because of how much people didn't like the movies and the backlash they got. But the prequel movies, as much as I don't really like them, they did actually get people into Star Wars. There were actually events planned around those movies. They actually, in a good way, brought more people to like the movies, honestly. Yours didn't. What yours did, they, you know, no one, from what we know, go to your local Walmarts and Targets and all these, whatever, they can't sell Star Wars merch. None of this stuff is selling based off anything she's doing. At least with prequel merch and the prequel movies, that stuff sold. People are actually hyped to have the Revenge of the Sith re-released in theaters because they actually like that movie. I think that's the best prequel movie, honestly.
You actually got a great...
Nobody wants a Rose Tico doll?
No.
You can still find them at DD's discounts. I'm not even kidding. Along with, you know, Admiral Blue Hair, you know, gender studies professor. Holdo. Thank you.
She has a maneuver.
MSK. You were 100% right, and
like
I witnessed this. Yeah, fucking a broken clock strikes the right hour, whatever, once a day, something. Anyway, fucking. I knew kids, like I grew up older and like that were about a generation or more behind me that got into Star Wars like hardcore. The books, the games, even though the games were dated by the time, like they were several consoles back from what they were into, because of the sequel trilogy. It did generate a whole new fan base. There are a whole bunch of people that got into everything Star Wars because of those movies
fans out there. Yeah,
even as bad as they were, and it was really just the diehard older fans versus the newer fans, and it never got to the level it is now with these. This did not generate a whole new fan base. It's just
actually did the opposite. It actually made everyone quit the brand.
Yeah. I mean, because I was one of the older, I was
you're a MILF?
Yeah, of course I am. I was a little kid when fucking Return of the Jedi came out. So I grew up during that shit. Maybe not like the 70s shit, but Return of the Jedi on. I was I watched the Ewok special on TV Christmas Eve, all that shit. Fucking and now I despise everything about Star Wars. So it had the absolute opposite effect. There's no more fighting or arguing. There's complete it's either complete hate or apathy. And that's the biggest thing is people just don't give a shit anymore. The only ones that do are the ones that pretend to like Star Wars and never really did to begin with.
What if we make C-3PO's arm red?
All right, continuing on. It's a very generational brand, and we want to sustain that, and we work hard to sustain that. So George gave us the gift of storytelling, being across lots of different genres, and that gives us a lot of opportunity to try things. Well, what we've really enjoyed about the streaming space is that we've been able to experiment. Oh, that sounds kind of gay. That's like when a girl goes like, I'm going to try experimenting in college with women and eat out their fucking vaginas. And I'm not gay though. So it's harder. Yeah, I love when it's hard, right? No, I like women. It's harder to do that in the movie space. And now I think that's why it feels so good to be able to move into a Mandalorian movie as we're coming off of 3 seasons of a successful show. Okay, I will give her that. She had a hand in making The Mandalorian. Okay, 1 out of 10. Good job. Great.
2 out of 3.
Jesus Christ, great. Holy crap. We've actually built an audience for that. That's true. You did. See, that this proves you can do it. This proves you can do it. If you really actually took the time to make something, you can do it. It's possible. Not very consistently, but it's possible.
Yeah.
And we gave the young audience an opportunity to enter Star Wars at a different place and not feel like you have to have seen everything. You did. You did 1 or 2 good things. Why can't you apply that mindset to everything else then? Then you would be successful, but you don't because you're a woman and your brain is fucking fried. It can become their Star Wars. And that, I think, is the fun storytelling challenge. You tell stories in these movies? Oh, shit. That's... Goodness gracious, fuck me. I watched The Rise of Skywalker for its story. Yeah, because there was none. Holy fuck. Deadline. You've got a long resume of big... Oh, they're going to circle jerk her for all her somewhat movies that she may or may not have... Oh, fuck me. This is bullshit again. You've got a long resume.
What are your bona fides? I'm just saying.
Hold on.
She's got 8 Best Picture nominations.
So do I.
In her really, you've produced that many.
I've made several pornos that have won many awards. Best scene.
Her check writing skills and phone call skills are above par.
God, you've got a long resume of big movies compared to that. How much tougher is the challenge of so much public scrutiny and second guessing by the rabid fan base? They had to do it. I knew they were going to do it eventually. It's not uncommon to develop a project with big names who fall out when visions don't align, but they get reported as big implosion. I want people to understand it is a big implosion what happens most of the time. The reason why you don't hear it as a big implosion from her side is because she has to basically sell you the idea that, oh, I brought people on and, we had different visions and we all went our separate ways, but no bad blood. She has to tell you that. She can't just go and layer out a bunch of dirty laundry. Let's be honest here. If you're a writer and you were given a movie, you're going to be paid millions of dollars if it does well, and she fired you off of it, would you go, oh, yeah, fuck it. No hard feelings, bro. Peace out. No, you feel actually resentful because of that. It's not fucking rainbows and sunshines when that happens. We know this is true because of what happened to Gina Carano. Gina Carano didn't take it that way. She's actually suing them. What the fuck did I just
still
read?
Pending.
That's true. That's true. Kennedy,
same with the original producer of The Acolyte. Her lawsuit is also pending. So there will be some discovery in both of those.
Oh, God. what you just said, though, is so interesting to me. No, it's not, Mike, because that is the development. It doesn't matter if you're doing Star Wars or anything else. What's troubling and frustrating is that our development gets scrutinized. Oh, like every other production company that announces as much shit as you do and fail at it. They live in this world where they think they're the only ones who get scrutinized. Paramount gets scrutinized. Universal gets scrutinized. Marvel gets scrutinized. Warner Brothers every day on Twitter gets scrutinized for every little thing they do. Literally every single day. You are not the only one that gets scrutinized, you fucking bitch. And I don't know any other production company where their development gets scrutinized like that. Warner Brothers literally every day gets shitted on. Do you live in the real world? Warner Brothers literally gets shitted on more than probably any company I know exists out here. Maybe beside Paramount. Paramount takes a lot of L's recently. It's very hard for anything to happen within Star Wars without some aspect of it becoming public before you even want it to become public. So I guess managing the message in some way is also quite a challenge because, of course, not every single thing we put in development we're going to make. That's not unusual. Bitch, you're the one who announces them. If you're not going to make it, don't announce it then. There you go. I just solved your problem. Stop announcing stuff you're not going to make. We want to make those things that we feel are the best. We want to make those things that, as time passes, feel relevant to what the audience is responding to. So there's constant discussion around that. So yeah, this is a tricky one because a lot of the scrutiny around Star Wars and the negativity has been about development. Of course, we're going to develop lots of different things with an understanding that not everything gets made. Then don't announce them then.
Wait a minute. A lot of the negativity has been around development.
She just tone deaf.
Really?
It's just tone
really?
deafness. Holy fuck me. Holy shit. She was like, we get criticized for announcing stuff. Then don't do it then. Oh, but I have to get people in that. Oh my God.
So I have to get interested. I have to get people interested in what we're going to make. But then when
By
I
announcing
announce what
them.
we're going to make,
Yeah.
and then they're not interested or they don't like it, well, I don't know what to do after that. Ooh. Okay. Maybe you're not seeing the actual problem, lady.
We're not living in the same world as her. She literally just tried to convince you, hey, I get scrutinized for announcing stuff. Okay, everyone does when they announce something stupid. Then don't announce it then. Don't announce shit unless you're actually making it. That's what people are mad at.
Don't do stupid shit. I'm going to do something stupid. Don't do that. I guess I shouldn't have announced it yet.
Oh.
No, don't do it at all. Do something better.
It just, my sides hurt. What a dumb bitch. Why is this person a president? Just kill me now, man. Deadline. I broke a piece last fall about Simon Kinberg making a deal to write and produce a Star Wars trilogy. How's that going? It's never coming out. Calling it right now, it's never coming out. But this is what she's going to say. We're absolutely rolling fast and furiously. That has gone exceptionally well, and he's literally going to script as we speak. We'll see something probably around June. Simon, if you remember, he did some work with us years ago with the animated show, which was really wonderful, collaborative experience with Star Wars Visions, I think. And he then got very, very busy with X-Men, and then recently became available again, and he segged into this space beautifully. We're really excited about where that's headed. Deadline. There are spinoffs, and then there is the core Star Wars story broken into trilogies. Is this a continuation of that? Kennedy, this is the next iteration, the new saga that moves us into the future. So this is going to be episodes 10, 11, 12 of Simon Kinberg's trilogy. What about that Ryan Johnson one? What about the Taika Waititi one that Gray talked about? What about all those movies? Fuck me, right? Deadline. And the one by Deadpool and Wolverine director Sean Levy. That's also in the future. It's all post the first 9. Sean's is a standalone Star Wars story that'll take place post 9, maybe 5 or 6 years out. And The Mandalorian really stands out on its own because we're dealing with a whole other era in the New Republic. We have other development going on in that space as well. So that's the space that we're pretty much focused on right now at the moment, because obviously with Mandalorian, we have a pretty good sense of where that's going. And with this, it's all pretty much new characters. We may bring in some of the characters back from the sequel saga. Please don't do that. No, those characters suck ass, but pretty much new characters. How many development type projects do you have percolating that you feel confident will turn into something down the line. To play it safe, I'd say there's 3 or 4 right at the moment, and a large part of it, Mike, is who is the talent we're attaching, and that's a challenge in and of itself these days because people get really busy. So you find yourself having to wait with a lot of the top talent doing streaming and movies now. They're juggling schedules, and when you do Star Wars, you pretty much have to step into it and not have any other competing work going on. It's a good 2 to 3 years minimum commitment, and that's tough to get top talent to be able to carve out that kind of time. So that's part of the challenge as well. Oh, I'm with Patty Jenkins, and okay, guess it doesn't apply to her. Good Lord. But I'm pretty sure so much of this. Holy shit. Good Lord. There's still a lot of this
Yeah,
left.
I know,
but,
reading, right? Hey, MSK,
Yeah.
you said the word percolating. If you were to guess what that means, what do you think percolating means?
Sucking my big fat cock. That's 9 inches. All right. Deadline. You still got that prequel with James Mangold, who's Oscar nominated for the Bob Dylan movie, A Complete Unknown. Yep, he's working on this script right now. Simon's working on scripts right now. Sean, we had been working with him already for about 1.5 years. These guys are available now. Jim, he got delayed a bit because of the Dylan movie and the award season. You have to accommodate top talent to a certain extent, and quality is so important with what it is we're trying to do. I like to wait for people that I think are passionate and really good to step into Star Wars. This is not what she said years ago when she was talking about, I only just hire women. It's not what you said years ago, you lying sack of shit. Good God. Any others I've forgotten? Okay, Taika Waititi, Ragnarok, what? That shit ain't happening. So even when you had Reigns Lucas from Protege, blah, blah, 10 years from now, blah, blah. Okay, this is all probably just like him sucking her off in her fat, stinky, smelly coochie. So, aside of all of that, I don't think she shaves. I think she lets it get long because her husband's a cuck, and he probably watches her, get fucked by 5 different black guys a night because, who the fuck is he, right? He's a fucking loser. But yeah, Star Wars.
You can smell your own?
Not really. Kathleen Kennedy is not leaving, and that's probably that's a bad thing, honestly. But Gray, I'll get your final thoughts on this video.
What can I say? She's definitely earned her spots. That being said, I don't think that she's great at her job. I don't know, man. I think attacking, her legacy, I think she's done a good enough job on her own. I think you can just point out what she's actually done. Those prior films, they're amazing. She's also responsible for the greatest, or at least the production on the greatest Indiana Jones movie. And I'm happy that, The Last Crusade was actually made. But that being said, she's deserving of all the, negative feelings towards any of these films that they've actually made at Lucas. I don't know why they don't have some sort of, quality control. It seems like it's their go-to to not really have a script ready, just send people in and then do reshoots. It seems to be what Disney is really doing with both the Marvel and Lucasfilm side. And it sucks, man. I wish they would actually take some pride in the work. It seems like once they actually had some good creatives that were doing it, much like the first and second season of Mandalorian, and I would argue Andor, but they lost a lot of people by then. But what can I say? She is not the worst, but she did not succeed at anything she's done at Lucasfilm. It sucks. I don't want to put it all on her. The majority of it is she is the head of it. She is the one who's going to take that blame, but it sucks. Like, she didn't have the push for Disney Plus. I'd have to think that the Obi-Wan movie would have been much better as a movie, regardless of how bad it is.
The original writer
I feel like a lot of that was stretched out because of the Disney Plus thing, and that seemed to be direct down from the top of Disney. Same thing with the push of we need a movie I believe it was every year at one point, but part of the sequel every 2 years. I don't know. That was a bad push. I really wish that she didn't have those restrictions. Maybe we would have gotten better shit, but her in charge of it, choosing who she did, and then the restrictions that the actual studio put on it sucks. It left us with a really bad franchise that nobody looks at the same way. And even though they had a decent show as the last one, nobody cared. Nobody tuned in.
I just want to
they
point
lost
out
all goodwill.
The Obi-Wan thing you said. It was going to be a movie. I remember the writer, who was the original writer was supposed to be on it, said that they broke it into a series because after Solo bombed, they thought that people did not want to see Solo-led movie characters in the theaters. That's why it has a series. Which
Oh no,
that's stupid, but fucking hell, man.
the thing is, what both Solo, whether it be a movie or a series, and Obi-Wan, same way, had in common, they were both awful, and they both destroyed the characters.
Yeah. Would you
The Obi-Wan
That is what we're left
series completely shit on the character of Obi-Wan Kenobi. Obi-Wan Kenobi was supposed to be there with Luke. It shit on Luke. It shit on Obi-Wan. It had annoying little girl Leia. Everything. Solo was
but it
a
had Reva,
disaster.
though.
Jesus
Oh,
Christ.
good.
Oh, great. Planet of the Apes and my
Everything
Star Wars movies.
they made a bad movie and decided, well, we can't make another bad movie, so we'll make a bad series. That doesn't make
Just
any fucking
long
sense.
drawn out and slow, painful death. That's what that felt
And just
like. Literally,
yeah,
slow,
that's
painful
all
death.
that was.
Mhm.
My thoughts are Star Wars is completely dead. No one likes it anymore, and she will go down in history not for all of those great accomplishments. Whether she had, I will concede to you, Gray, that she had a lot to do with those movies being made, and thank God, because there's some masterpieces. But she's not going to be remembered for that. She's going to be remembered as the lady who destroyed Star Wars and made people hate it. And that's it. It's dead. Nothing they can do can bring it back.
I just want to point out these last two questions where Deadline said, will you step out as Lucasfilm boss this year? She said, we really don't know at this stage. There's so much going on. I don't know. And then the last one was, when it happens, who will make the decision? Me. It's my decision. This is 100% my decision. So everything we know is based off of her. She literally is always the one who goes, I'm the one that made the decision. I was juggling stuff and schedules and all that stuff. Then if you're the one that's pretty much in charge of everything, and you're the reason why it sucks, then if you're actually admitting that, which you probably have to because you're a boss of the whole thing, well, I have to blame you then, right? When you go and you get bad food at a restaurant, who do you blame? You blame the manager, even if that person maybe wasn't even on the shift where it happened. You know? Fuck my ass, guys. Just fuck my ass. So, yeah, that's where we're kind of at now with Star Wars.
Still
is, you know, why are you an ugly fat woman
It's
on screen? Just kills me. I know.
It's Cartman Kennedy. Come on.
I mean,
Kennedy.
Does this make it better?
No.
I've got a little bit more mouth articulation with this one. There's a tongue every now and then.
So yes, that's just not what you want to hear in Hollywood. Your boss having more tongue articulation to go and tickle your asshole. But yeah, for me, my final thoughts and opinions on this is, hey, we'll see where Star Wars goes in the future. Literally just relies on the Mandalorian and Grogu movie. If that fails the box office, take a break, cancel everything. Because then at that point, why make anything else if that fails? Literally, I'm being serious. If you make that and it fails, which they're doing, it's coming out. If that fails, like it flops, like Solo, it'll probably do what Solo did at the box office, about $400 million. And now that was considered a low-grossing movie. Cancel everything. Restart it from scratch. Actually, just maybe sell it off. Maybe give it to fuck on knows whoever, honestly, at that point. Because, you know, I'd rather actually go, you know, fuck some fat bitches than watch those movies ever again, you know. And Force Awakens, it certainly was a movie of all time. Truly cinema at its finest. I love seeing Han go up to his deadly son that he knows is a mentally deranged weirdo and get stabbed and act surprised that his son, a mentally deranged weirdo, would do mentally deranged weirdo shit like kill his dad. Crazy, right? Great movies we have here, you know? But yes, thank you guys for checking out this video. If you guys are returning viewers or new viewers, then please consider subscribing to the channel if you have not already. Leave a like on this video if you enjoyed it and comment down below. Also, make sure you guys hit the notification bell. That way you guys can get notified on whenever I upload a brand new video or go live. I am MSK, aka Master Swag King, and we are signing out, guys. See you guys later. Deuces. Peace. Wow, that was a great video. You guys are fucking clout chasing fucks.
Hey.
Okay.
We'll be here for another like 10 minutes because I know Iron's got to get to bed very soon. And well, I'm off tomorrow, so I don't gotta do anything. I'll just be getting some you know,
Plus
I'll
it's
be getting some
Tuesday.
videos done. I'll probably just get some videos done. I was editing a comic book haul that I'll be putting out tomorrow, but that's pretty much it that I gotta do, at least for right now. But I know Iron doesn't like the new X-Men direction they're taking. Yeah, I don't even want to go tell him what's going on over there, honestly. Hey, we're still here. Still here. I'm an all night lasting guy. You know, that's what I do. I satisfy women. That's what I do around here. So,
Sure.
wait, are you guys gonna
new X-Men direction? You're saying?
comic book wise, you know?
Oh, okay.
He has various nerd things in his background. Whether they are toys, action figures, arcades. Thor is on the floor next to his leg. I think Thor went in there a while ago. He might still be there.
Oh no, he's not in here right now.
Why do they always? Oh, good lord, man! Put them outside. Let them go outside and experience the world. Don't do that. Butters outside would be tragic. It would bark at everything. Literally. Oh, good lord, man! Imagine when the DoorDash guy comes over. She barks at him.
All right, buddy. You're starting to lose track. What was your point? Got nerd stuff.
Oh no, I was just talking some bullshit.
X-Men changing direction. I have nerd stuff. Where were we going?
Okay. Hypothetically speaking, how do you last longer in bed? Do you use Viagra?
No.
Okay, me neither. So, oh gosh, Gray, you got a long stick.
More of a blue chew, man. What were we talking about?
Oh god, man. But no, what did you before you go? What did you think about Zelensky getting thrown out?
Kind of hilarious. Did not think that I was going to see that. Interesting. I did not expect that. What were your thoughts, MSK? I kind of have a feeling that you've got some funny thoughts on this topic.
Goodness gracious. I'll say this. Good thing that happened. I mean,
Good thing?
I think that if you come in like he did, he should be honest, he should be on his knees groveling for money. Not, hey, you owe me more money because of what he did. That thing that other people do where instead of actually telling you a reason why he needs it, he'll just kind of fear monger you into believing a reason. You know, that's the general sentiment that I got. He was trying to basically, if you don't do this, then the whole world will go down. No, we don't got to do anything. That's your problem. Yeah. You see how that? Yeah. Oh goodness, man. A lot of people do that, and it's so easy to tell. Like women do that a lot to guys. They're like, "Oh, if you leave me, I'll just have to move back with my mom." Good. Fuck you. Go to hell. Why the fuck do I care? You know, things like that. But you know, I'm a genius for a reason, and my IQ is literally beyond 200. But starting off with Gray, we'll do outros. I might stream League after this. I pretty much will after my video gets done rendering. So you guys can come watch me play League and watch me blow girls' backs out because I got a 9-inch dick that I got to use. Honestly,
totally thought you were going a different direction on there. Seeing as how it's almost Tuesday. But fair enough. Hey, good times. It's always great to be here. If you want to get deeper into this whole Zelensky thing, come join us on the Thinkers channel. That's over at YouTube at That Darn Kidda's channel. Mm-hmm. She's gone this week, but so we're down somebody from one continent, but we have the other continents. We still have international people who are going to weigh in on this whole Zelensky thing. There's some really passionate people who really seem to have a strong opinion on it. And then we also were talking about an interesting game developer who's saying that just because you pay $60 for a game doesn't mean you have the right to complain about it. So
I heard about that. Kind of
interesting.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. We've got some passionate feelings on that one too. So
if that was in a video, okay, send it to me. We'll use it as a topic after the DC discussion for Wednesday's show.
Deal.
Send it because I forgot.
So there's going to be some passionate international opinions on that one, especially from an international game developer that we have on that panel. And then we're joined by a very special guest. So please join us every Thursday morning on That Darn Kidda's channel. That's all I got going on.
You're going to run the show when she's gone, or will she let me do it?
She trusted us with the keys to her channel. We're going to try not to MSK it, but
okay. So you're saying so she's allowing men to run her. Never sent a woman to do a man's job. Oh, damn, fuck. But Kitty. Hopefully you're getting pounded by your husband, but hopefully you're having a good time on your trip. But yeah, just want to point out, I love the purple Catwoman suit. Started collecting her comics when I was 13. Speaking of purple Catwoman comics, they released a DC's Finest collection for Catwoman's very first appearances and stuff. I've not ever been a huge Catwoman comic fan, but a lot of people seem to really like her.
How can you not be a fan, MSK? Oh, wait, that makes sense, MSK.
I'm a fan of hot pussy. Oh, can't say those words on YouTube. Good Lord. I'm a fan of hot stuff that you get into and you blow loads into. So yes, Iron, what you got planned coming up?
Well, thanks for that. I have the weekly Rogues Gallery every Friday at 5:35 p.m. PST. This week we got a very special guest, Tom Connors, from Midnight's Edge, will be joining us, and we're going to get into some of the current weekly event stuff and go from there. You can follow me over on X. Gonna have some new channel announcements coming out soon with an additional show, hopefully to be announced this month. So we'll have the weekly Rogues Gallery will be moved to during the week, and the Friday show will be rebranded as the weekend Rogues Gallery. But nothing else changed, just kind of trying to get a little more out there a little more often so we can all hang out.
Awesome. Hell yeah. And what else do I have? Well, as you guys know from me, speaking of Catwoman, if anyone likes Catwoman, I know other people in our inner circle do. They released a collection of Catwoman right here, getting a lot of her first appearance stuff. Also, it's not
That's
really,
good shit right there.
Not really $40. You can definitely get it cheaper for like 25, 30, less than that off Amazon and eBay anyway. But remember, DC's putting out high points of a popular character's comic history. They're not in order like Marvel's Epic collections, but whatever. There's all of it collected right there if you want it in a collected edition instead of having to go into your back catalog and finding it. And, eating out a girl's back taco is very, very fun, So, Dermy told me that, and then one of the I stole that. I'm stealing.
I was going to say you stole. Of all the things to take from Derby, you took the back taco. Okay. Oh no!
Good Lord. So, what do I have coming up? Well, I have everything coming up. Tonight, I may or may not stream League after my video gets on rendering, and I have the show with Laps Comic Fan tomorrow. Keep in mind, guys, the show with me and Professor Savage is not going to be on Wednesdays when we have it because I don't want to overlap it on Tuesday like before. So I have Laps tomorrow, 4 p.m., 4:30 PST. Savage Dad, 6 p.m. PST. Wednesday panel show. Thursday, I have a one-on-one, and I'm also going to have another comic book review stream with Lunchbox Warren. I'm going to try and have him on more of the shows because I need to get some of these comic books reviewed. Probably going to have a consistent Thursday show by that logic now. And on Friday, we'll be back here again with Lunchbox Warren. We're going to be reviewing Absolute Wonder Woman #2. And then Saturday, panel show. I'm going to try and see if I have a consistent person to be on there. Wait, hold on. That's me. I'm joking. But yeah. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. We got some nice, good stuff for you guys, Are you? I never liked Wonder Woman. What? Do you want to come on? That's up to you. You at least you just have to have a decent mic and camera. Well, Gray never turns on his camera. Gray's trying to turn on his camera. Now he's just Erica Cartman. I'm retired from women. That is true. But yeah, nothing else. That's it, essentially. Thank you guys for checking out this episode of the MSK Show. We'll see you guys in the next one.